All right, I'd like to call to order the Bedford County School Board regular meeting for tonight, July 11th, 2024. Ms. Purvis has notified me that due to a family emergency, she would not be able to attend tonight. If you would, Ms. Johnson, do the roll call.
Mr. Hill,
Here.
Mr. Daniels,
Here.
Mr. Holbrook,
Here.
Dr. Hubach,
Here.
Mr. Knight,
Here.
Mr. Nelms.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented? Have a motion by Mr. Nelms. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Holbrook. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Agenda is approved. If you will, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence afterwards. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll move to 2.01 policy updates. Mr. DePere.
Good evening. The Intergovernmental Affairs Committee met on June 20th, 2024 to review proposed revisions in the following 5 policies. ECA, inventory and reporting of loss or damage. Changes include clarification to the superintendent that the superintendent is responsible for implementing inventory procedures, including determining and monitoring monetary thresholds on fixed assets. Second is GCQB, professional staff research and publishing. Policy language has been updated, but the substance is unchanged in that the board retains copyright of all work produced by employees when acting in their own official capacity, in the official capacity as a teacher. GD is support staff, no proposed changes except the removal of the purpose statement in consistency with all other policies and updates to cross-references. GHCF, student wellness updates to reflect state-required language based on federal program monitoring of the school nutrition programs. And last, GM, restraint and seclusion of students, policy update to include additional language that seclusion of students is permitted only for emergency purposes by trained staff members when personal staff or safety of students is jeopardized. Any questions?
There's no action on these tonight, but if we do have questions, we have until next month to get with staff members or our IGA committee.
Okay.
So. All right, so recognition of students and staff, though they're not scheduled until 6 o'clock. So we're going to move forward, and public comment is 6 o'clock as well. So we're going to move forward to number 5.01, superintendent's designees for 24-25. Mr. DePere.
Upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the school board will appoint Dr. Karen Woodford, Deputy Superintendent, Mr. Randy Hagler, Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Operations, as authorized designees to sign all Virginia Department of Education reports, documents, requisitions, and other official correspondence in the absence of the division superintendent through July 31st, 2025. In addition, upon recommendation of the superintendent, the school board will appoint Karen Woodford as superintendent's designee for all other circumstances.
I have a motion to approve 5.01 as presented. I have a motion by Mr. Daniels. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Nelms. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? 5.01 passes. 5.02, award Stanton River High School wastewater treatment plant bid. Mr. DePere.
502 502 award is broken into two categories. Stanton River High School is the water treatment, and the middle school, Stanton River Middle School, is the bio-wheel waste disposal system. Bids due and opened on June 27, 2024 at 2 p.m. The facility committee reviewed the bids and recommended that the school board award the contract to Falwell Corporation for the amount of $1,568,400 for combined both projects. The bid tabulation sheet is attached for your perusal. At this point, it's yours.
I have a motion to approve 5.02 to award the Stanton River High School wastewater treatment plant bid as presented. So moved, Mr. Holbrook. I have a motion by Mr. Holbrook, a second. Second by Mr. Nelms. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? 5.02 has passed. 5.03, approval of policy updates presented at the June 13th, 2024 board meeting. Mr. DePere.
The Intergovernmental Affairs Committee met on May 10, 2024 to review proposed revisions to the following 7 policies. DM, cash in school buildings, policy last reviewed in 2010. There are no proposed changes except for the removal of an outdated legal reference. EBAA, reporting of hazards, proposed edits include removing the purpose statement, changing the wording to provide consistency with all policies, and adding legal references. FE, playground equipment, proposed edits include adding language consistent with current practice of the maintenance department, supporting principals with inspections and repairs of playground equipment. GBEF and GHCL, lactation support, proposed edits include addition of language that designated rooms to be free from intrusion. IK, grading, proposed revisions include removal of the purpose statement and the consistency with all other policies and updates to legal and cross-references. And last, JO student records, proposed revisions include clarification on the use of specific terms, including education record and scholastic record, and the additional language to conform to policy JBB and state code.
Do I have a motion to approve 5.03, approval of policy updates presented at the June 13th, 2024 board meeting as presented? So moved. All right, I have a motion by Mr. Nelms. Do I have a second? Second by Dr. Hubach. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? 5.03 is passed. Do I have a motion to go into closed session?
Mr. Chairman, pursuant to Code of Virginia 2.2-3711A137, to discuss the assignment, appointment, performance, disciplining, and release of contract for specific school board employees. 3, for the discussion or consideration of the acquisition of real property for a public purpose or for the disposition of publicly held real property where discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body. And 7, for briefings by staff members or consultants pertaining to actual or probable litigation where such consultation or briefing in an open meeting would adversely affect the negotiating or litigating posture of the public body.
I have a motion by Mr. Daniels for closed session. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Holbrook. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're now in closed session.
She said, I said, well, let's learn. Be ready next time. I said, 'cause I got one in me, and that's it.
Yeah.
Next day, my arm, my elbow.
All right. Do I have a motion to come out of closed session?
So moved.
And again.
Do I have a motion to come out of closed session?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Nelms. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Daniels. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are out of closed session. Ms. Johnson?
Whereas the Bedford County School Board has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and where Section 2.2-3712D of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Bedford County School Board hereby certifies that, to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification applies, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered.
Yes.
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 Recognition of students and staff.
Mr. Chairman, Vice Chair, and Mr. Dupere, will you please come forward to greet our students and staff?
And I'm going to make an executive decision, and since there are so many students tonight, I'm going to ask the entire board to come forward. So we're there to recognize multiple teams.
Would you care to maybe come down here? Because I
Sure.
don't think the soccer team will
Yeah,
fit on the stage.
absolutely.
Thank you. that was, massive amount of you all. All right. Well, I'm going to start by thanking everyone for their understanding in our change of venue tonight, as we, as you can see, have a lot to celebrate. The auditorium is filled with students who have achieved significant titles in their respective sports at the end of the last school year. Since there are so many recognitions, please wait until each member of the individual group or the entire group is recognized before applauding. Students, please stay on the floor, not on the stage, after shaking hands for a group photo before we call the next group up. So first, we're going to have the Jefferson Forest Cavalier boys soccer team. They were successful in getting the Seminole District Championship, Region 4A Championship, as well as making it to the state championship where they came up as runner-up. But before we call the team, we'd like to show special recognition for the following people. Tyler Beck, can you come up? He was named the District, Region, and Group State Player of the Year. And then we also have Coach Zaring. He was the District, Region, and State Coach of the Year. All right, can I have the rest of the Cavalier soccer team come up for a picture, please? And one at a time, you can go through the line. It's like
There you go.
that was better. Wedding. All right, we're gonna have to get in real tight when they're done, though. All right, can we get you guys over here in the middle? If you, so if you can't see me, I can't see you. Yes, they might have to go in the back. Yeah, you can put some on the stage. Gordon, well, that TV's there. I don't want Barry to get mad at me. Say some can go up behind them. All right, Coach, you can stand in front. All right. 3, 2, 1. Everybody say cheese. Okay. All right. Congratulations, you guys. Okay. Our Cavalier boys team was obviously had a great season, but our girls team also had a great season. And tonight we're lucky to celebrate our first team All-State recipient for midfield. So please join me in congratulating Miss Izzy. No, I meant to ask her and I got overwhelmed. What is it? Is it Wademeyer? Wiedemeyer. Last name. All right, next we have members of Liberty High School's girls track team coming out again on top at the state championship. So please join me in congratulating the following athletes on their successes. We have Jade Creasy, who was an all-state finisher, placing first in the 4x800 meter relay. We have Tanisha Brown, who was first place in discus. And Shania Brown, who was an all-state finisher, placing second in shot put and fourth in discus. And then we also have their coach with us tonight, Ben Weiss. Chairman, this concludes student recognition. Oh, no, yes, I completely missed JF softball team. That's my bad. I'm so sorry. I went right over your list. I'm just kidding. Okay. Last but not least, we have the Jefferson Forest Lady Cavaliers softball team. They had an exceptional season wherein they earned the titles of 4A state runner-up, 4D champion, and Seminole District season champions. We have a special shout out to Kimber Spence for being Seminole District Pitcher of the Year, Amelia Long for earning Region 4D Player of the Year, and Coach Gary Harris for being named Region 4D Coach of the Year. While many of these ladies couldn't be here tonight due to their travel ball schedules and other obligations, please join me in welcoming the following athletes. Haley Fortune, Lauren Smith, Brooke Wilson, and coaches Gary and Crystal Harris.
Gotta figure out.
That was fun.
I like that.
Said no?
Didn't you say no? And then when you realized?
It clears out.
I said, oh.
Oh, I thought I heard
No, I said,
and was like,
oh. Yeah, no, because when I did JF's ladies soccer team,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I just skipped right over it. No,
You'll email me?
yes.
You don't have to do it right now, but yeah, whatever.
If I don't do it right now.
You'll forget, I'm like, yeah.
They're all right.
All right.
It'll work.
Next is public comment. The public comment portion of tonight's agenda is limited to 40 minutes. Speakers are asked to state their name and voting district. The school board is here to listen to your comments, but will not engage or respond to speakers during this 40-minute period. Please remember that this is a public meeting and that we expect all speakers to refrain from any foul, profane, abusive, or hateful language during their comments or any time while in attendance during this meeting. We also ask that speakers keep their remarks objective and about the school in nature. Please keep all comments limited to matters related to the public schools, and any comments that are harassing or amount to a personal attack against any identifiable individual, whether board member or staff or student, or having the potential to cause unnecessary delay or disruption to this meeting are prohibited. This is a public meeting for public matters. If a speaker is not present when their name is called, we will proceed with the next name on the list. An individual who has not signed up to speak may not substitute for that time slot. Individuals will have 4 minutes to address the board. An alarm will sound when an individual has 30 seconds remaining, and a second alarm will sound when the allotted 4 minutes have expired. When the second alarm sounds, please discontinue speaking and allow the next person in line to come to the podium. Should you be unable to finish your comments, please send or give them to Ms. Johnson, and she will give them to board members. Please do not adjust the microphone at the podium as it has been positioned for optimum audio quality. Dave Dietrich.
Ladies and gentlemen, a lot has changed over the past few years. The Bedford County School Board is no longer dominated by educational careerists. The new prevailing voice is the voice of the community and the people. Jonathan, Matt, Dwayne, Marcus, Dora, Kurt, and Chris, you have all performed exceptionally as the elected school board. We are grateful. The school administration office has also provided outstanding support and counsel to the school board, our students and educators in the Bedford County community. Thank you all for your service as well. We also have a new superintendent, Mr. Dupere. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
We are looking forward to your leadership that promises to bolster among our students the quest for truth, dispassionate discovery, and moral and intellectual growth. The classical liberal education of our students is the key to a successful future for them, for our community, and for our nation. Instilling critical thinking among our students is also paramount to that education. As John Locke once wrote, reading imparts knowledge, but it is thinking that makes what we read ours. Thomas Jefferson wrote, virtuous habits are produced by exercising the mind in reading and contemplating good moral writings. As you all lead us into a new era, teach our students how to read, write, speak, act, and foremost, to think, the latter by discovering truth. Finally, teach them also the lessons of the past. As Soren Kierkegaard once wrote, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forward. Help our students to know the lessons of the past as they move forward. Thank you.
That is the only person that had signed up for tonight. We have open slots. Is there anyone else interested in speaking? All right, I will close tonight's public comment. All right, moving to number 7, approval of consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Nelms. Do I have a second? Second by Dr. Hubach. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda is approved. All right, superintendent's report, Mr. DePere.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for a very warm welcome in the last 2 weeks from the central office. And as I this week attended the administration training, thoroughly enjoyed getting to know the leadership of our schools. I also would like to anticipate where I'm going and what I'm doing right now to be very fruitful in how I introduce myself to the community. To this point, I am the school. You know it as a board. The central office knows it as an executive board and down. I have started the process of having verbal SWATs with every division of the county. I've promised the principals that I will be doing verbal SWATs inside of their schools with them first, and then with their faculty and their staff. I have aggregated the superintendent's survey and have a consensus of what the public thinks about the school district in terms of its effectiveness, its progression of pushing for academic excellence, its meeting the mission and the vision of what we've established. I also want to say to the public that I will be coming through multiple town halls in your area to discuss the similar feedback. I want to know what the public knows about Bedford County, and in that process start the understanding of how we as a executive office, principals, teachers, and school board can better or improve on the process that I think right now, in my review, is in pretty good shape. And so I want to commend the board, and I want to commend the executive team for hard work leading up to this. The administrative meetings yesterday, there is an insurmountable amount of things that they have to report to Richmond. They do that with great order. They do that with very good precision, and I want to thank them for that, doing that as well. As we reported last month, the SOL report is not in as of yet. It's a preliminary, so at this particular point in time, we have good indicators that would include that we had good results in math and English, and still need some assistance and help and work from the leadership down into the schools for some of the things like science. And the rest of this report will come through probably late August, and it will be the final report. So we'll have better numbers, or we'll have real numbers on chronic absenteeism, graduation rates, dropout rates, and CTE completion rates. So we're looking forward to those numbers being finalized. The last item that I want to address is yesterday, I think everybody in the state of Virginia saw that the governor has put out an executive order for cell phones. We presently have a policy. I'll reserve my opinion of that as we go through this process. The way it is set up is that by September 15th, there will be input from school districts and public parents, all taken in and given to the Department of Education, and they will take into consideration of what people are saying about the need for. I am involved in a meeting late in August for Region 5 of the superintendent's group to sit down with about 25 other superintendents and have a discussion about what it should look like in our public schools. So we have a lot of work to do. There is no policy in place at this point. They are taking information from the public and from schools and will form one by September 15th, and then it is enacted by January 1st, 2025. So it's a fluid process, and we'll be, as a school district, very involved in that process. And then it will become, it'll become law as to how that is used in the school district. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't have necessarily any other reports at this time, but I do again say thank you for your welcome. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve. And I will not take that lightly. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, committee reports. Mr. Knight?
Well, we had one meeting since
Yeah,
last.
we had one on June 27th, and we had went over the wastewater bids, which we approved tonight. Of course, we went over the 5-year CIP because it's constantly changing, moving items around as far as when we're getting to them. We talked about scheduling the PPEA committee meeting with the Board of Supervisors. That'll be in late this month. We haven't set a date on that yet. We're waiting to hear back from them. The windows at Moneta Elementary had been approved. That was $132,000, which had been going on for about 2 or 3 years, trying to get contractors in on that. And we discussed the handicap accessibility and visibility at Stanton River High School, as far as on the football field, where anybody in a wheelchair really can't see. So the maintenance department's gonna work with the school and try to figure out some way to rectify that. And that's pretty much it. And I think
We also worked through some details on getting the Stanton River High School baseball field repaired. There's some flooding issues, and we got a plan for that. And then just to clarify on the PPEA, what we're referring to there, obviously, to those that are paying close attention, is the canopies and the auditoriums for the school. So we're making progress on that one.
Good. Mr. Mills?
No committee reports at this time.
So no committee reports. The CPO meets next week.
Mr. Daniels?
We had an IGA meeting today before the school board meeting that had some policies that will be up for informational next month, and our next one will be taking a break with everyone getting ready to get for the first day of school. So there's a lot happening. So we'll take a break and we will come back, I guess, in September.
And then Finance Committee, we have scheduled for July 25th for our next Finance Committee meeting. All right, Mr. Daniels, if you want to go with comments and concerns from school board members?
Yeah, not much. Just hope everybody is enjoying their summer. And there's a lot of things happening here. Everyone seems to be pulling here in the right direction, and it's going to benefit everybody here in the county. Our kids, the staff, the teachers. I mean, it seems to be some momentum here that's building. And I don't want to speak for the board, but I think that we're all here for that, and I especially here, just whatever we can do to help make that happen with everybody that helps make Bedford County Public Schools the best that they can be. That's what I want to do, and I think that's what we all want to do. So with that said, I know the kids might not be super excited to come back to school, but they should be. And here's to making this next school year the best one for them yet. So, thank you.
I would just echo some of those comments in terms of welcoming Mr. Dupere and dawning of a new day in Bedford County. We've got a reasonably new board and a new superintendent, and like Chris said, a lot of momentum moving in a positive direction with everybody rowing in the same way. It's like a crew team, so I'm excited to see this next year as well.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Go ahead.
Mr. Nelms?
Same welcome, Mr. Dupere. Just want to, I know you've getting a little bit of flack, and I don't want you to be discouraged by any comments that people make or anything, so I'll give you an old Ben Carson quote. Do your best and let God do the rest. So I just want to say that to you. Johnny, do you want to discuss the facilities committee?
Is that something?
Is that something we can discuss now, or is that
Yeah,
something
he's
we need to
gonna-
discuss later?
Yeah, we can just announce
Yeah.
that
Okay.
we're going to reappoint Dwayne to the Facilities Committee, and you will no longer be serving on that committee, and that was per your request.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
And the
I
board has
requested.
agreed to that, so, yeah.
I'll remain on the PPEA with
Correct.
Mr. Holbrook, but
Okay.
I'm going to step away from the other for a while.
Okay, sounds good.
And I had one other comment. We need school bus drivers. So if you're listening out there, and the 10 of you or the people online, it's a good deal. Especially if you're a retired person and you're looking for some extra income and some benefits and such. I know several people that have done that in their retirement. It's a great deal. We really need bus drivers at the schools. It's a big thing.
Mr. Holbrook, did you have anything?
I just want to welcome Mr. Dupere and really look forward to seeing how things go, and I really believe that the best is yet to come.
Again, welcome. I did want to say that I enjoyed recognizing the students tonight in this atmosphere of having multiple schools recognized. I know we had talked about it before of going, instead of doing monthly, maybe doing quarterly. And I think we need to consider that, and we can make that decision tonight by consensus, or if you want to think about it. But we had decided to do our meetings at the school board office, because as we can tell, attendance, is down as far as the school board meetings. People are watching live. But I do think we should do it at least once a quarter versus monthly. And that way we can, be in the different high schools and do meetings once a quarter, and then every other meeting be at the school board office. So, don't know what your thoughts are on that, but definitely want to continue to recognize students and staff also throughout there. And I had, I think it was 2 months ago when Miss Cindy Watson come and presented of what's going on in her classroom. Definitely want to welcome teachers to come speak and present. We want to know what's going on in your classroom. And it doesn't have to be, it won't be 30 minutes. It needs to be 15 minutes or less, with a few slides to talk, but we definitely welcome you to come and let us know what's going on in the classroom. Outside of that, again, I want to thank the staff for presentations that we had. I know you're diligently working on having information around our test scores, so looking forward to that. And with that, that is all I have. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Move.
I have a motion by Mr. Nelms. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Daniels. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.